The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
I see what you're doing, yeah, I see what you go through. Put my lighter in the air, the truth is you're beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now put your lighter in the air for us.
Good evening. My voice cracked. Good evening.
Count it down and see the crack.
Chris did that. First of all, he was looking at me because he said I didn't do my homework and get a new song. So I was like, okay, we'll just play that one again. Man, number 99 to start us off. In-house, we've got Smitty, Jerry Weber, the historian, and
Doc.
The Doc. Oh, you Doc now?
I'm Doc now.
Okay, he's Doc now. Put his head back up on that thing.
Doc Rambo.
Rambo, Doc. Oh, there you go, right there. There you go.
Oh, that's cold.
He got a bad angle on you. You know, that's a bad angle there. You look like an animal on that thing. Like what is that?
Oh, man.
So, start us off. It's at the top of all of these sports shows. It's at the top of ours. Number 99. And we've got a clip. What do you want to go to the clip first? Or you want to go to Smitty first?
Well, Aldon Smith is who we're talking about. And
Exactly.
He was on the 49ers, and it got released today. DUI, they say, and vandalism and all sorts of claims. But we have a clip saying that he's denying those things, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
The people who are faithful remain faithful. You know, I'm good, I can talk. Simple as this, hey, justice will be served and the truth will come out. There's no DUI. And I'm sorry for anybody I let down. I'm sorry for, you know, the way this whole thing, let me do this. It's time, like, you know, I need to speak and I want everybody to understand this wasn't a DUI. The situation that happened could have been handled differently. And I apologize for everybody I did let down, and I apologize for how it all played out. But as far as everything is concerned, it'll work out how it's supposed to work out. That's all.
What can you say what happened last night?
That's all. All right. Thank you.
Wow. Now, I watched a lot of that during the course of the day on SportsCenter. There was a press conference, and the press conference was talking about he was parking his vehicle. And I'm like, wow. So, you know, just listening to him in the clip and then seeing the little press conference and he was parking the vehicle, it wasn't like he was out in the street swerving and, you know, almost missed somebody and hit a car and scraped something, you know. And I don't know where they got all of these charges from a guy parking his car. And he said, hey, this could have been handled differently. So I don't know. You know, the NFL has to do their investigation even before he can go to another team. So I guess that press conference will be played pretty soon, and we'll get to see that again. And then whatever other extenuating facts about you know a little bit more about it, don't you, Smitty?
Well, not really. The part that I do know is that I appreciate the way the coach spoke on the subject matter, and he said that even though he's released from the team, the organization is going to get behind him, you know, with his drinking problem. You know, That's the way he played it. But now I hadn't heard about the
press conference
until I got here. So he's saying there's no drinking problem in essence. So now we got a scenario going on here where somebody's not telling the truth, and hopefully things can work out to his advantage. But the next question is, what if it does work out to his favor? Who's going to pick him up?
Right. Well, chances are, whenever something happens like that, most of the time it's definitely going to be at the detriment of the player.
Yeah.
Most of the time, even trying to find a second home, once you've been released, you're not going to get the same type of money. They're certainly going to have close scrutiny on. On top of that, it's just very difficult for them to play to the level that they played to in the past. I mean, I heard that he had a couple of priors. You know, this wasn't like the first time something that happened.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see how it turns out. But yeah, even if he lands with another team, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to actually get the type of money that he probably deserves. I was going to ask you about the Ray Rice situation. You know, I mean, do you think he's going to get a second chance?
I was at the bar there speaking with a young lady. She raised that question, and her question was, which team would he be a good fit for? And believe it or not, the conversation I had, I don't know if you and I talked a little bit about it or not, but here's my thought. It seems to me that the league may not want him back in. You know, so first barrier that he has to overcome. But if he is allowed back in, I pointed out to the young lady downstairs that a team like, for example, Dallas,
Sure.
they have a number one running back, and then they have McFadden. And from my understanding, McFadden is already injured, or he's injury prone.
Oh, wow.
You're right about that.
So that would be the type team, and the owner has a habit of picking up the underdog type players
Right.
and working with them. So, you know, potentially that's a team that he could go to if there was a need for an experienced running back.
And it seemed like it would be. I mean, considering the league, I mean, running backs go down so often. Most of them really don't last, you know, the entire season. You need at least running backs by committee. You need at least 2 for the entire season. And it just seems as if it's collusion with the owners as to why he hasn't made it back in yet.
Right.
I mean, they're saying his declining productivity, which I can kind of see that. But the same token, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't want a media circus coming through, and they know that if he's on any team, you're definitely going to have a lot of people following that situation.
Well, my argument there was Vic had that same circumstance, a different scenario, but coming back, there was that same concern, and it worked out for him. So
yeah, but they didn't think that Vic was declining. They think that pretty much Ray Rice is on kind of on his last leg as opposed to Vic. They still thought he had some productive years.
I hope he saves some money for himself. Ray Rice.
What do you think about it, Doc?
Ray Rice, I think it's a shame that he's not in the league. It's a win-win with him. You're not going to invest a great deal of money in him. I think there's something left. You can't lose by taking a chance on the guy. See what he has left. This is spring training.
Yeah.
You know, you can try that. I personally think, and me and Pierre had discussed before, I think it's a collusion with the owners. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that he is one of those cases, the big test case for the NFL. And the NFL kind of lost a test case, the fact that the judge threw out those games that he was that they say he was supposed to be suspended for. So I think it's a shame. I really, truly do. American society, boy, we something else. You know, the man has, according to the law, did his punishment, wherever it was. Okay, in the NFL, they did their thing. Give the man, you say that this is a league of second chance. Well, you know, the things between him and his wife, I guess has all been solved. They're on a happy trail right now. So give the man a chance. But I personally think it's a collusion with the owners because he came out and spoke against the owner of the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. And you can't lose by giving him a chance. You know, used to be one of the top running backs in the NFL. And that's not a great deal of running backs floating around in the NFL right now. And the fact that this is the beginning of the season, spring training.
Yeah.
What you going to lose with this? Okay, I just think that he's one of the test cases that the NFL is, I have no great respect for the NFL these days. I really, of all the unions and professional sports playing right now, that we have the major 4 NFL, solid taste with me.
So just let him get in there and get his feet wet somewhere and see what's going on.
What you going to lose? Huh?
Yeah.
There's no guaranteed contract. It's not the NBA.
Hey, Jerry, you have any thoughts on we got a special guest once again. Jerry Weber's in with us, a man from the past. You have any thoughts on that at all?
Oh, yeah. When people talk about the league, any league, but football in particular, it's as if they act as one. It's all owners are the same. You know, they all think alike. Actually, an owner is a very special person. You got to have a special mentality to be an owner. Mm-hmm. And you don't cross the owners. If they love you, they love you. They'll do, they will overlook a lot. If they love you, you can even go around the coach and say, "Hey, I want this," and you can. But if you cross them, forget it, and they're cliquish. They don't all love each other, but they're little groups. They're cliquish. So the guy gets his clique together and says, "I don't want this guy." And so you're on,
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that's what
we're
I'm saying.
getting, see, I like this because we're getting the old white boy Jewish perspective, which Jerry has always brought, you know, even back in the day, 30 years ago, gosh. He would always give you the perspective on exactly what's going on. I guess that's why a lot of guys back during that time could get signed from your league, because you could always be able to come in and you knew what they were thinking about and the type of person that they wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying this, just like back then, it's the same now in terms of the owners with the football. You can't cross them because they're going to stick together.
It's unfortunate you don't have an Al Davis around, because he was known for going against the grain, as it were, as far as the owners went. And,
what about Jerry Jones?
Well, that's what I was going to say. To a degree, he's kind of like that, don't you think?
Yeah, to a degree.
To a degree. A small degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
A small degree.
Well, let's take Greg, what's his name? He just accepted this year.
Well, you always, when you take a chance with these things, especially when these ball players are into the spotlight, you can take a chance with that.
Right.
Okay? He took a chance with it. All right? Because simple fact that you have good attorneys who tell you, well, there's a chance that this thing can get reduced, or you have someone in the commissioner's office who knows how this thing is going to go, and you take a shot with it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's been a no-brainer. I would have signed him.
And he also took a college player that had some problems.
And that's another no-brainer.
Yeah.
Sign him.
Right.
LSU.
Okay, sign him.
Yes.
You know, come on, they got smart lawyers around there and people giving advice. This is how this case is going to go.
Right.
Go for it.
Yes.
But in the case of Ray Rice, I truly believe it's collusion.
No.
Truly shutting him out.
Well, doesn't the Football League Players Association have an eye on this, and they can?
The NFL union is the worst union out of the four top professional teams. They're the worst. Come on. A sport as vicious as it is, really, no guaranteed contracts or just contracts. They
Now, you know what?
basically do they want to you.
Let me jump in there. The gentleman, Mr. Smith, that we're talking about, had a very interesting contract. His contract was broken up in such a way that as long as he was producing, he would get paid, and he would get incentives as well, as long as he was able to continue playing. Because I think his first couple of years, he was out for a lot of time. And so they wanted to sign him and be fair because he is good. But his contract, once again, was devised where if you did so much of this and so much of this, you got this money. You did so much of this and so much of this, you got this money, along with other incentives. And he blew it. He couldn't answer the bell on that. So I don't know. I want you guys to see that a press conference and be able to take what you can from that. We weren't able to pull it up anywhere, but that press conference sheds a little different light on what was going on. We're going to see by next week. We'll have all the information that we need because this just hit today.
You talking about the player today?
Number 99. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Ray Rice, but Jerry kind of cleared that up. You don't cross the owners.
Oh, that's bottom line. Well, yeah,
you don't cross them,
and that's sad, but that's where it is with him.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with Just Sports.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pitbull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
Yeah.
I heard that one.
What? No, I didn't. I was.
Are we back? Okay. Let me act like we back. Now, what did you just say? I couldn't believe that.
No,
Carmelo Anthony, what?
My sources tell me, very credible sources tell me that Carmelo Anthony, they're actually contemplating a trade between the Lakers and the Knicks. And Carmelo Anthony to the Lakers, and the Lakers, but they definitely want, in the trade, they definitely want the number 2 pick, and what's combined with, they can package together some other players in there, but the number 2 pick in there definitely has to be in it.
If they make that trade, just fold up the tent and go home.
Right. Well, they're saying Carmelo's definitely disgruntled in New York.
I don't care. Carmelo Anthony?
Right. Carmelo Anthony. Right.
Fold up your tent and go home. You make that trade.
We got a legend in the house when it comes to basketball. You just heard him, Jerry. Chime in on that and tell me what you think, because that doesn't even sound
coupled with Kobe Bryant
feasible. I think
you only got one ball.
Right.
And you got Carmelo Anthony, who wants to do it all.
Sure.
He's got an attitude.
Yeah.
And he won't have his buddies, whatever, sitting on the bench cheering him on, And you got Kobe, who's only lives for basketball. That's it. And he's not going to share it with anybody. And the locker room ought to be a laugh a minute.
Oh yeah.
And the other guys are just going to sit around and watch. And if they're lucky, they'll get to touch the ball.
So it could be that type of fiasco.
Yeah.
But under the tutelage of Byron Scott, you're talking about a Hall of Famer, a Hall of Famer, and Kobe Bryant, another Hall of Famer, and Carmelo Anthony. You're talking about fellow U.S. Olympians, playing together. I mean, I don't know if besides Shaq, I don't know if Kobe's played with another player as talented as Carmelo Anthony. I'm not saying he's in his prime. He can still put up 27, 28 a game.
It'd be the worst.
One of the problems you have, especially at the point guard position, is physical condition. And after a number of years, the body wears out. You just can't take the full season. And and I would say Carmelo Anthony's suspect. I don't think his body would hold out for going full bore for a season. I think you'd have to space him. He wouldn't be a full-time regular point guard.
Or something similar to what Byron Scott should do with Kobe Bryant this year, right?
Yeah.
Basically the same type of player, basically the same type of situation, but you're talking about 2 Hall of Famers getting together, running, Kobe's last leg. So
okay, the 2 Hall of Famers get together. What's the advantage?
The advantage is you have a ton of experience with great productivity from both of those players over the years. You're talking about 2 basically Hall of Famers getting together. But what do the Lakers have?
Nothing. They have nothing then.
Well, you definitely have 2 marquee Hall of Fame.
So what?
Names.
That's not gonna get you wins.
Well, that was just a rumor coming down the pike because Carmelo said.
Oh, someone had nothing else to do but create that rumor.
No, because he said he's so disgruntled in New York.
I don't care.
He doesn't know, how he's going to play it. Meaning he doesn't know. He wants. Bottom line is he wants out of New York.
Well, you know what?
So he gonna land here
with Kobe.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Byron Scott, and I don't even know if he could pull that together. 2 great players with 2 great big egos. you know, it's tough to get. Like I used to like during my heyday in the Pro-Am with Jerry, I used to like those knucklehead, hard-head people.
But you need big-time names, though, for...
Listen to what I'm saying. Hard-head, knucklehead, egotistical type people. I used to like those.
Right.
Mainly because, for whatever reason, I was able to get them to work as a cohesive unit. So we're talking about a guy named Jarvis Bash Knight.
Sure. Went to Vernon Day, went to L.A. High School.
Okay.
And UNLV. Know exactly who he is.
Okay, you know who he is.
Firsthand.
And then we're talking about William Alexander, Division II School All-American over at Dominguez Hills.
Okay.
We're talking DeJuan Hurt, who has been the head coach at Sarah and won a bunch of championships there for the last however many years. And we're talking John Williams from Crenshaw High School. Remember, he was on my team as well.
John, yeah.
Big John, one of the all-time greats.
Yes. So
no question.
I had all these people together, and they all played together. No problem.
Right.
So it can be done. You know, I did it a long time ago, but this new breed, and I want to believe that Byron can do it. I want to really believe. I know he's Doc over there just like, oh, you lost your mind. But, you know, that's how teams are made. They're made from the coaches being able to get them to work together.
Right.
I don't care what sport it is.
Right.
If he can get them to work together, then, you know, at some point, they get it. You know, and that's what you got to hope for, that they get it. And, you know, I got to go on record and say, you know, I hope the Lakers do it because back in the day, the Lakers were the model for basketball.
Right.
All over the world.
Well, I go on record and say the Lakers do it, fold your tent and go home. Okay?
Well, you can fold your tent and go home no matter what.
Fold your tent and go home.
Who are you talking about? New York?
Lakers.
Lakers?
Why would you even?
You know what? Let's go real quick to the other historian in the house as it relates to basketball. And Jerry, you probably got more information than me about the state of the Laker organization. You know some of those people. You know how those people think. What is your thoughts on the Lakers this year with the information that you have currently?
Well, I think that they may gel. It'll take time for them to gel, and they shouldn't read the newspapers. Forget what the media says.
Forget people like us.
But I think they'll gel, and they'll come in, and it's kind of a middle grade team. You know, not the top, not bottom, but nothing to be ashamed of.
Will they make the playoffs?
Right. Do you agree with Kobe's assessment that they're going to make the playoffs?
I doubt it. I say maybe year afterwards they'll make the playoffs, but I doubt whether they do it this year.
What if they get Carmelo Anthony? What do you think?
It'll help their attendance, but that's about.
Thank you.
See, that's why I like having him. He's on point. It'll help the attendance. You know what? They got to be. Is that what all they're thinking about?
Well, that's part of it. I mean, well, look, you got a general manager and a set of owners, and the owners of the Lakers have. The owners of the Lakers leave a little to be desired, the current ownership.
Yeah.
And the general manager's been there forever, and he's not a dummy. He knows what he wants. But when it comes right down to what are decisions made on money, how much are you going to pay this guy? How much how much do I have? What's that going to mean to my budget? And the decisions made at the upper level are money decisions. They're not player decisions. The player represents so many dollars. And will he bring in seats? How are we going to make out financially with this guy? Now, with a guy, so when you bring somebody, he's great, but nobody heard of him. And he's gone against another guy who said, well, he's okay, but everybody knows him and they'd like to see him. And he's been around, so let's fit him in. We can just get him in the budget. It's all dollars.
Yeah,
okay.
but with the Lakers, their problem is not getting fans in the seats. Their problem is that L.A. expects a team that's going to be competitive.
Right.
And so that's what the Lakers, that's their objective for this year. They have to be a team that's going to make the playoffs. And I think they have the components, and now it's up to the coach.
Okay.
What about the competition, though? I mean, you having a Western Conference. It's probably going to be the toughest it's been.
Yeah, they're going to have the same problems that everybody have, though. Kevin Durant was hurt last year. Westbrook even was hurt for a while.
Right.
So everybody's going to have those little scenarios there. And now my only question is, Kobe is the X factor. We talk about that. Yeah. His health, one, and then how is he going to play?
Right.
But that's where Byron's supposed to come in.
Yeah, he's supposed to come in and give him limited time, just like Jerry was talking about. And I think if both of those, let's say Carmelo does come, the combination of Kobe and Carmelo, either in tandem or separately, coming in, could work out pretty good. As long as they don't try and run him in the ground like Antony did. Why would you have a 35-year-old guy running the point? That didn't make any sense to me.
Well, they got sweet Lou Williams to do that. He put up 50 in the summer league, or one of those summer leagues, Lou Williams, as a backup. But if they're thinking about bringing Carmelo, that means that this core of guys they have, something's wrong there.
Right.
In their analysis, something is wrong.
Right. Well, but you have to give up some, and you have to match the salaries by, I think it's approximately 85%. So they have to make sure that they, package together a certain amount of players that would actually come within the 15% range of what Carmelo's getting.
Well, I heard
but they said regardless, the number 2 pick must be in the deal.
The Lakers have a number 2 pick. Is that what you?
Well, Randall. I mean, the youngster from Ohio State.
Oh, they want
Randall. Not Randall, but the youngster from Ohio State.
Oh, you're talking about the point guard.
Yeah, they're saying he has to be in the deal. If he's not in the deal, then no deal.
Yeah.
But the Lakers are getting star power. They're getting the marquee. One of the top players in the league, Carmelo, when healthy.
Yeah.
They're bringing him in, and so that's a 1-2 punch that they haven't had, and I don't know.
I used to know, or you could at least figure out some of the moves that management used to make, and now I don't have a clue. I have no idea of what it is they're trying to do, or what it is they might be trying to do or think about doing. We want to switch back to football real quick because Pierre, you had something you wanted to add.
I just wanted to chime in on the Hall of Fame ceremonies this weekend, and of course, a lot of the great players. One of the Hall of Famers, Big D, well aware of was Haley. Charles Haley. He played with the Cowboys and of course the 49ers. The one I was most familiar with, and certainly the one I definitely supported the most, was the great Tim Brown, for the Raiders. And then, of course, you had, the great Junior Seau as well, who's no longer with us. But definitely, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. It's a shame the way he ended his life like that. But, that's part of, hopefully they'll address some of the issues that so many of the players are dealing with, post-playing days. But definitely Junior Seau, he was one of the all-time greats.
Yes.
From USC, San Diego area high school, USC, college, and, of course, with the Chargers. And then, of course, he ended up playing with the New England Patriots, and I think he ended his career with the Miami Dolphins. So
we have our first preseason game this Sunday.
Right.
You know what teams are involved?
I think it's the Steelers and the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the Steelers and the Vikings.
Get to see Adrian Peterson a little bit then.
Yeah, if he plays,
You probably won't see him.
and again, just to mention that the Cowboys, the Cowboys are down at Oxnard. They have their training camp down there. They're still considered America's team, no matter. I know they haven't won a Super Bowl in decades, but the same token, they're still considered America's team. And for them to be so close and to have such fanfare, then I was thinking maybe one of us could shoot down there and maybe, get some footage.
I saw Dez Bryant got into a little fisticuff there.
Yeah, he did.
First day.
Yeah, actually, I heard a little bit too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Defensive back was making him look bad. Something to that effect.
Yeah, he certainly didn't like that. He didn't like that at all, especially considering the type of money he's making as opposed to the DB is just trying to make the team.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us on this edition of Just Sports. I'm your host, Sonny Wells. We want to thank Smitty, Jerry, historian, and Doc. We'll be back next week with Just Sports. Thanks.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural. Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.